Alright, one thing, Shocka. You've mentioned the title
Shocka's my dog.
4 or 5 times. Talk to me about like your relationship with him, and then we'll go into the whole Marvel and how that started. Like,
so Shocka, I've known Shocka since school. So I remember I got kicked out of year 9. I don't know why I kept on getting But yeah, I got kicked out of year 9. So the way they done it is I got kicked out, I think, the last week. Yeah. So I think the teachers didn't like me so much, yeah. They said, alright, cool. 1 week's not enough. So when year 10 starts, for example, you still have to be kicked out like two weeks or whatever. Yeah. So when I got into the school now, I kept on hearing about this guy called Shocka because I had a brother called Tips in my class, and he was in a crew called Chain Gang, which was Wretch and all that was in combination gang, yeah. So Chain Gang was the group under them. Do you get what I mean? From Tiverton. So Shocka was in it because he does metaphors, all of these, and that's when I started learning about Mets, innit? So Tips was in it as well, and he's in my class. So he keeps talking to me about this guy called Shocka, saying, yeah, he's fresh. He's got Pradas on. You get me? A man's got the iceberg history top with the little cat there. Yeah. So I'm like, who's this brother that keeps coming? Fam, I'm the best. You get me? Like,
and this is like your school.
Fam, this is my school. He's come to my school to let me know what's up. So when I've seen him, you know, Shocka liked himself around that time as well. So he's just looking at me. And then he's like, oh yeah, let me hear a lyric, man. I've spat a lyric. It's like, cool. Then he spat a lyric, but he's got bare metaphors. Yeah. I'm like, what's that metaphor thing? Yeah. You get what I mean? So he's teaching me stuff. Yeah. And then from there, I just liked him.
Wait, is he older or younger?
Older.
Okay.
So I liked all the whole metaphor things, but then I got sent to Uganda. So when I got sent to Uganda, obviously he finished his thing in the school and everything. And then after, that's when I went to Always Recording, and then he come Always Recording. But he's always been my guy. I've always just genuinely liked Shocka, musically at the time, innit? And then we just got close from there. Like from when he come Always Recording, I think he went in the Chain Gang crew anymore, and then we just joined Marvel. We made Marvel, but Marvel first was me, Shocka D, Maestro, Vertex, and one more.
Damn, person. I didn't even know there was that many in the beginning.
The beginning one, because obviously it was due to like you remember Shoddy Crew. Yeah. So Shoddy Crew, when Shoddy Crew split up, most of us kind of stayed. The people that I personally believe were still that wanted to pursue music, we tried to stay together and keep it a clique. But then obviously that still even went left. And then the only 2 serious people at the time, I personally believe, I think Shotty D went off to do his own thing, Maestro went off to do his thing, and then I think the guy was called Swift24, Vertex's cousin, he went off to do his thing. So then it was just me and Vertex. And then Shocka went in a crew at the time. So then Shocka joined. Everything else was history after that. Fam, I'm not gonna lie. The sort of blessings I even saw through Marvel, I think it was one of the best periods of my life.
Yeah, because I definitely think you guys pioneered that whole group music. Yeah. And to a degree, you could even say you was way ahead of your time.
Let me show you something.
Because if you had come now...
I'm going to be very honest with you. The sort of stuff, I swear to... Because I see Mega Man talking to Tricky the other day about when they went to go do the So Solid Mansion. Yeah. We did that when I was 20.
You had your own house.
Fam. At 20 years old,
I was like, I need to go to the yard.
You should have, you know. It was lit. The parties were lit. And even down to the fact that... Because what had happened was... The first day that we moved in, we're making bare noise. It's like moving in here now, making bare noise. The neighbours come knocking on the door. Can I talk to your parents? We're like, we are the parents.
I'm dead.
We are the parents. Yeah. He said, I'm finished. Yeah. That's exactly what you said, yeah. And then from there, we don't get twisted. I was trying to be nice to him, innit? Yeah. But we were just making a bare noise and everything. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I felt sorry for him still.
Imagine that, having your whole house at them ages and whatnot.
And then we're trying to move into after that, because I remember Vertex started managing Josh the drummer, and he was drumming in for One Direction. So we had a link to One Direction. The way everything was gonna...
you guys linked Drake, Rihanna... It
got long.
You guys were probably the first to meet Drake when he came down. What?
He's like, shouts out to the Marvel boys.
Yeah, like...
No, it was proper because Vertex, and this is... It's the behind the scenes that's always amazing. This is why I tell people the stuff that you do behind the scenes is going to impact you more than what people see. I don't care what people see. In fact, that's minor. If that's a lot, the behind the scenes is amazing. Do you get me? So Vertex must have been, he was doing videos for a thing called Metropolis. So Metropolis is a studio. So we met will.i.am there, we met Rihanna, we met Drake, so many just different sort of artists, and at the same time we're just downstairs filming. Do you get what I mean? So it's like he did that, and then we used to get the studio for free.
The videos you guys were doing, especially Marvel Mondays, I always remember that.
It was crazy.
I don't know if you guys shot the videos 1 week prior.
No, we it's literally Monday we do So I call this video drop Monday.
Yeah, then you'd start the next one.
Tuesday, we record the song. We have the idea Wednesday, shoot it Thursday, and then Vertex has 2 days
to edit it.
Yeah, and then we drop it on Monday. That's literally every single week.
Rate.
And we was, to know that we're not even gassing,
yeah,
we would, I think it was Facebook and whatever else was popping at the time, we would just basically tell everyone, what do you lot want us to do? And we're going to go from what you lot want. And we're going to go to the studio and just knock it out.
No, I can't lie. Even looking back at it, I can definitely see those were your happiest moments.
100,000,000%, man.
Because the world was your oyster type of thing. Like,
imagine telling God, for example, yeah, God, I want to do this. And he's like, alright, cool, just put in the energy. Yeah?
And you'll get the results.
That's literally what it felt like. It was fake. I tell people this all the time, because even down to when people talk to me now about like certain stuff, I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. Do you get what I mean? Because I've seen God work. So there's a difference when you, especially when you've come from a place, for example, and sometimes when you're by yourself, you can only believe in God because no one else is helping you do it. Do you get me? I have to wake up in the morning and say a quick prayer, for example, and then just go on my journey and do what I need to do. And that's what it felt like around that time.
So why the breakup then?
Always remember, I'm going to be real. Like, it reminds me of relationships, yeah? So if you've got a relationship with a woman and you two don't see eye to eye, I don't care how many times you force it, it's not connected no more. Yeah, like that's just, let's not lie to ourselves. So even down to the group thing, for example, just being real, we were having like a few miscommunications throughout the years.
Especially living together.
Fam?
That, I know, it's like you said, like a relationship. Once you live with someone, you start to see everything.
I'm going to be real, me and Vertex, obviously we kind of fell out in it. I hope he's doing good at the moment, you know what I mean? Yeah, but we kind of fell out, for example, and then eventually after a while it's like, there's only so much I'm younger than you, but there's only so much I can take myself, do you get what I mean? And you see me, I tell people this all the time, don't wait for me to get mad to take me serious, because I'm calm for a reason. I'm letting things flow. I know how it's supposed to go, I know it's supposed to be patterned, and all of these things. But when, say for example, we're not doing all of that, for example, we're going to bicker, we're going to have arguments and, oh, you're an idiot, and whatever. And it's not supposed to be like that. Especially, I always say this, if you start a union with, whether it's your friends, for example, or a girl and everything, for example, if you've got a child or whatever the situation is, make sure the energy is right, even if you are not going to get along. Because you've started, it's like Marvell was our baby. So that's something that we've started, for example. So we're supposed to get along. But when it reaches a stage where, just being real, and I'm gonna blame it on survival and being from the hood as well. When you're from the hood and you don't know better, you don't know your next move. And we went to go view a £10 million house. Because that's how adamant that we was going to get to where we needed to get to. The way our belief system was set different.
Wait, hold on. You're even 20. I even forgot. How did parents even let you leave at them points?
Always remember this as well. Parents at the time, they don't know if you're joking or not. So what they hope is, I hope he does well. Let's see what's going to happen. So my dad, I remember I was scared to even tell him I'm leaving. A man looked at me, he's like, I got it. But because these things just governed, didn't it? So he's either going to look at it like, you're either going to come back or you're going to do well. And on a sly, and I only found this out when he passed, he would ask me, like, my cousins, how's Bashir's house? They're like, it's nice, it's proper it. It's like, alhamdulillah. And my dad was proper, but he has to love me from a distance because I'm a bit bad, innit? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, my dad was a proper one. So yeah, like I always say, for example, take the leaps of faith. You get what I mean? Because I personally believe we all got different blessings. I have to see you doing well and congratulate you. I have to give you the energy to continue going. I can't see you doing well, for example, and start hating and doing the whole rest. Even when I've got a child, for example, after a certain age, you'll be yourself. Do you get what I mean? And you have to, even down to, I learned a lot from my dad. Like, my dad kind of showed me what a man was. Do you get what I mean? Because yes, he was on me, but he was intentionally pure. But then after a while, kind of
even when you grow older, actually, he was one of them ones where in the beginning he was strict. Then as you get older, he just became your best friend, which is almost exactly like how religion says it's meant to be.
It's supposed to be,
like, 100%. Strict in the beginning, then after that you're an adult, like you're grown. Like,
it's only your friends and all that I hate.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Maybe a BB. You
know what I mean? Like, no, that's crazy. Like, so then let's talk about some of the features that you've had. Like, let's go from Wiley, Skepta, Jamie.
I've done well still, you know. Listen, I don't even think about them sometimes,
the list has gone on, and I know for sure you could have had plenty more, and even bigger, like, so.
Of course.
How did those happen? Like, I know Skepta, Jamie from Tottenham, and so those are probably always in the works, but the rest, then, like,
I think I reached out, you know, because I'm a person, I'm gonna be real, I don't have time to wait for people.
Kick down doors.
Yeah, like, because I always feel like like, say for example now I want to write a book, yeah, and Shocka said to me the other day, wait until you get to a certain level to do it. I'm like, Shocka, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Because, one, just being real, you never know when you're going to go.
Yeah, tomorrow's never promised.
Exactly. 2, I believe, so my book's going to be called The Motivator, yeah? And it's just obviously life situations. I believe we all, especially right now in this moment, for example, it's the stuff that we all need it. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So it's going to be based around that, for example. But I feel like I've been through so much already. I can't wait until I'm selling out like Wembley Arena to do the book, The Motivator. I can, but at the same time, I'm going to be real. By the time that it reaches then, I'm going to have something else to tell you. Let me tell you why, like,
while it's happening.
Yeah, like, fam, there's going to be subjects in there about pain, subjects in there about understanding. I know enough now to give it to you, fam. Do you get what I mean? So that's just how I look at it. Like, if you get the idea, move there and then. Do you get what I mean? Like, if you obviously be smart enough to get it to where you need to get it to. Like, I'm not just going to write a book and just put it there and then hopefully, no, I'm going to, it'll probably be an ebook first, for example, get a distributor, make it, obviously, understand business. So my thing is this, just make sure that you're smart enough with the knowledge that you've got, for example.
So is that what M Global is as the brand as well?
Because M Global is the whole it's motivation, isn't it? But it's first originally started from music, but then I realised, this is bigger than music. Yeah, like there's you do different stuff, for example, but you're even like you said, for example, if you're motivated by something that I do, that's even showing me like, right, Bashir, like at the time you're not thinking about it, but people are watching.
People are watching. I think that's something that drives me every day as well. Type of things, like there's days you wake up, it's like, I really just want to quit today. But there's literally, you don't know who, even if it's one person that you're making a difference.
100. But you're the reason I wouldn't stop.
You know what I mean?
When you I remember the first time you said it to me, I was like, I think I even wanted to quit music around that time. I swear to you. I want to quit music like 8 times a year. Yeah. I just have my little moments in it, but I'll go studio, then the lyric will be too good. It'll be like Gear 6. You know what I mean? And then I can't quit. You know what I mean? So like stuff like that is what keeps me going. And if it's not music, for example, you've got other things that you could potentially do to still drive people and inspire people. Do you know what I mean? So
then, in terms of that, because we're the motivators, I know there must be like, how's your mental health on that side of the spectrum type of thing?
I'm gonna be real, so sometimes you go, because you mentally go through it by yourself, you think you're by yourself. And this is why I tell people all the time, make sure you've got God in your life, because there's gonna be times where you're literally by yourself thinking. People will think that you're tapped, or you're moving like this, or you're moving like whatever, but that's the time to be like, because there's been so many times, I swear to you, that I might think, but shit, you might be overthinking it. Then I'll hear like Jay-Z. These are my, like, as soon as I go to listen to Jay-Z, Biggs Burke, that's Jay-Z's right-hand man, Eric Thomas, DJ Khaled, and then they say something that I potentially said to my friend and he called me crazy. I'm like, oh, I'm just saying it to the wrong person. And then I can calm down. Or I might go listen to a bit of music, or I might go pray, or whatever. Do you get me? Anything that needs to take me out of that mindset at that precise moment in time, and then I'm fine, fam. And I feel like, I'm going to be real as well, you're the only person that ever knows your journey as well. I think someone else can tell you, I think you should go try do this. I think you should go try do that. But sometimes, for example, if I say to myself, okay, I'm going to be a musician, for example, it's not that I'm not going to ever get to my destination. It's just that sometimes, not in a bad way as well, and this is not to make anyone else feel bad about whatever, I just might not be around the right sort of circle or right sort of situation. It doesn't mean my thing's not going to ever happen. I just need to get my stuff right.
So in asking you that then, do you ever feel like you're underappreciated considering the bars are there, you're flow father for a reason, you know? You know what I mean? Like, but then people say like, you get the comparisons of when you started back then to where everyone else is at. Does that ever make you feel some type of way? Do you know what I mean? Like, type of thing.
It never makes me feel some type of way, because I believe my
not towards them, but I mean.
But me, no, I think my blessings. I think my blessings are always going to come 10 times fold as well. Like, it's just that, like I said, if you don't have my situation, like, let me use Chip for example. Chip's situation and my situation was always different.
People don't even know you guys have a track together. My lord.
They
don't know. They don't know.
But my situation and Chip, for example, is 2 different situations. So, and I've always been raised like, if a man goes out there to get his food, that's not your food.
True.
Do you get what I mean?
Facts.
And you have to go hunt for your food. If he decides to share his food with you, that's a different thing. But he doesn't need to. And you can't be angry with him about that, regardless of even if you two have started from the same. But as men, it's mandatory that we...
Did you guys start off as friends? Or obviously you were friends, of course. But you didn't exactly starve together and like want to go together, no?
I'm gonna be real. I don't think it was ever that.
It was just people that.
Yeah, I've always said this. That whole Chip situation of people saying about me and Chip as well. People put more energy onto it to the point where I'm gonna be real as well. To the point both of us, to a degree, might even look at it like, oh right, like he's. But then remember, I went Uganda and came back. I've always spiritually known that's not your food. Do you get what I mean? So it's like I don't care when, even if say for example he might do a certain something called rare this and that. You just have to look at it and just be like, you know what? When you're ready, you'll talk to me and then I'll tell you what it really is. Do you get what I mean? Because I don't care about, it's like social media. I never take what fans say on social media serious. I know what Bashir thinks and that's all that matters. Do you get what I mean? And
so even in that, people probably misunderstood your tweet then.
That's a personal thing between only me and he knows. But it's only because I don't have your number at the moment, for example, to be able to phone you to rare this and that. But I've just heard something. So when I've heard something, I'm just pulling you up because the same way, for example, it's like if anyone spoke your name in a bad light or whatever, for example, you're gonna pull them up. So I'm just pulling. I'm not disrespecting you. I don't want nothing.
That's the worst thing in social media today. Them thinking that you're like, yo, like, I'm just literally asking, what's this like type of thing?
Fam, if it was it was an honest question that deserved an honest answer. It didn't deserve most of the other stuff.
It's not a fight. It's just a question.
Nah. It was literally a very simple question, and even down till this day, I haven't got the answer. But I feel like Chip will eventually, when he's ready, hit me up. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
We're men now, fam. We're not kids. Like so. Yeah, like that's how I look at it.
Oh, mad. Yeah. Let's talk about... remember, I've got a list.
I read this shit, ready.
Money management. So, I wanted to talk about money specifically, purely based on... It's different, or it's probably actually quite similar, modelling and music.
Yeah.
But in terms of when I was younger, I definitely thought, okay, I see my cousin on Channel U, he's charting, Marvell's blowing, they got a house, he's making millions.
Yeah, I was getting lost though.
Yeah, like, how does that all work and how did you manage to like manage your money and everything?
I'm going to be real, I was so bad at money management first, you know, because I like spending. This is what people fail to understand. Now, I'm going to be real, I don't spend as much now. Yeah. Because obviously you get older and whatever, but at the beginning stages, I love spending. Like, we can go somewhere, you wouldn't have to pay back in the day. Like, if Bashir's got the money, for naturally fine. Yeah. Because that's my thing is I've always been a family orientated person anyway. Do you get me? So if I've got the money,
and to be fair, I can vouch for that 100%. Every time it was good.
You have, but you have to be. Do you get me? Yeah. So obviously, the only thing I realized is sometimes at the end of the year you might pay tax. After a while, those are the things that made me stop. Yeah. You know what I mean? But before, fam, I'm getting my whole paycheck and I'm splurging, fam. Yeah. If I'm upset, if you can say something to me that I don't like, I'm not going to argue with you, I'm going shopping, fam. I swear to you, I'm going Louis, I'm going Gooch, I'm doing my thing, you get me? Yeah. Whereas now, for example, obviously you realise after a while, rent. Yeah. You realise after a while, end of the year, you might have to pay tax. I got a business now as well, so you have to pay tax, all of these things. So, and bear in mind, we've never been taught money management. I came from the road. I didn't, it's not like, say for example, my dad sat me down and said, like, cool, make sure you put this money away and rare, this and that, for example. You have to learn these things by yourself. Do you get what I mean? But I feel like the more you go through it by yourself, the more, I think the better. Because when someone else is saying it, you might even be upset with that person. Or like, right, you don't want me to spend my own money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I remember my first check was like 10 grand. My mum could have told me to save it, yeah, but she knows I wouldn't have listened. Because I remember around that time they don't want me to do music.
And you're 20 at this. No, this is 17. From day.
I was 17. Yeah, I was 17. Yeah. My 10 grand.
10 grand.
I remember my mum's fam.
Wait, did you have your own account or mum has?
No, I had to open one. I didn't even have an account.
Oh wait, it was a check.
Yeah. My mum looked at it, yeah. I'm a guy about this. And then she's like, "Oh, why are you waiting for you downstairs, isn't it?" I've gone downstairs. I'm looking at it. She's just staring at me. I'm like, oh shit, I'm up. I'm well gonna lie, I misbehaved. I'm just straight away, I didn't even overthink it. Remember, I've come from a place where I've just come back from Uganda. Yeah. That was a bird. You get me? So when I've come back now, I just said to myself, alright, cool, music. So then I had the little saga of me not going to college for the year. So all of that in my head, after I saw the 10 grand, I was like, this is real. Yeah. Do you get me?
I need to keep going.
What? Yeah. That's all systems go now, fam. The foot's the pedals on the, you get me?
Before I forget, you mentioned the roads. Did the roads ever affect you in terms of life and even making music and whatnot?
100%. Because just being real, before I went to Uganda, I got rushed.
Really?
Yeah, I got because remember at the time, for example, I'm with the Mandem, so the way we grew up and everything was even road use, MCs, we were a community.
All in one,
the Cumberland Park was a community.
Mm.
So everyone's your brethren and no one's getting cancelled out. Obviously, the older you get, everyone meets new people. It's very different. What's it called? But what I like about my area is no one's ever styled anyone. They shouldn't have anyway. But we've never really styled each other. Do you get what I mean? Like, if I do music, for example, and I'm doing well, we're all rolling.
Yeah.
If this person's doing Redis now, he's trying to, a man that's on the road, he's trying to bring in the man them because he's like, nah, you, because I think it's like Uganda. It's a community. And I'm gonna be real, like over here, for example, the rude boys. You need the rude boys. You need the good youths.
You need
everything. Yeah. So and it's like even this is what I like about the Ugandan community now. For example, everyone's mingling with each other. Whereas before it's this one's in this corner, that one's in that corner, and no one's effing with each other. But that's an idiot thing. Let's all come together. For example, if you do modelling, we'll link you up with someone that does modelling, for example, and then you lot just start something. If you do music, we'll link you up with someone that's music. You lot start something. And
Which
then
is something that I have to respect you because you've done music back home. You've won awards, like type
I've
of
never
thing.
been there.
You've won awards. This is crazy. Like you've done music with Weasel, my boy Rick, man. Like
Rick,
not
for that one. You're the pound still.
Like, and it's like you'd think that most people be like, oh, I guess you probably even do have the many who think, oh, Doubles thinks he's made it and he's too big to be doing it. But you're literally going out. You've been that person that helps the community.
It's bigger than me. I'd say, fam, sometimes though it's my downfall as well because I say this all the time.
I feel you on that one.
I could have gone time ago.
Yeah.
Like if I said, because now I'm gonna be real. I've got to a point where let me just execute what I need to execute. I'm not getting younger, and I feel like sometimes when you want to help too much, especially not in a bad way as well. And if anyone feels like I'm saying anything wrong, stop me. But I feel like when people don't know how to do business properly, for example, and then you're like, because I've come from a place that does know how to do business. Yeah. Whereas sometimes to maintain or to do it, you have to lower your standards, for example, just to make sure, cool. Because I do with Ugandans, for example, I just do it. Do you get what I mean? Over here, maybe not as much, but in Uganda, I got a song with Rickman, Weasel. I got one with Eddie Kenzo, John Black. Do you get what I mean? All of these people, and I wouldn't charge. Eddie's never charged me. Do you get what I mean? Like, for example, because we know what we're building. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's a community. Do you get what I mean? So, and I know what that could do over here as well. Do you get what I mean? So, it's just, I think, I know what my intention is and my goal, but at the same time now, I think let me get back to kind of doing a bit more of me as well, because I feel like sometimes you could do so much of that, you lose this. Yeah.
So in terms of that, what's the plans for the future? What can the people expect for Double S? Like, what
can people expect from me? I want to drop an album next year. I'm gonna drop another CD this year before the end of this year. I love that garage sound, you know. Because it reminds me of like it's basically grime, but then at the same time fun and bubbly.
It's got
you
the
get what I mean?
To it,
like, we could dance. Yeah. We could dance to it. So like, I want to drop.
I felt like you encapsulated that in day one.
Yeah. Day one was a banger.
Chef's
Day one was a banger. I love that.
I was like, I want to be in this video. It was crazy.
No, my next one I'm gonna hit you still. I'm gonna hit you up still.
It was crazy, like.
Yeah.
So plans for the future, man.
I want to do an old school garage CD, and I want to do an album next year. But I want to do another CD for my original Double S fans. I think what I don't want to do, I don't want to lose what people like me for. Do you get what I mean? Like, I've got so much girl songs. I've got so much flow songs, and getting back to the flow as well. Do you get what I mean? And I think just basically showing people the growth. You know what I mean? I want to show people a lot of the growth that I've kind of over the years, for example, because I'm not the same Double S that I would say when I was 17.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is, you're looking at a man now. Yeah, beard and that. You get me? So yeah, I want to kind of show people that, and yeah, I just pray everyone just grows with me as well, man. I don't want to, what I don't want to do, I don't want to put too much energy or wrong energy onto it. Yeah, I want everyone to enjoy it, for example, appreciate it, and just let it grow. Do you know what I mean?
Marriage? Are we gonna see a mission?
You
don't have to disclose that one.
You're gonna be maybe to be very cool. You never know.
But you never know. You know what I mean?
I feel now with that when the time is right, man. Yeah. When the time is right. I feel like another thing, and I want to say to people coming up, for example, don't let no one force you into stuff, man. Do you get what I mean? Like, I feel like you or a woman have to be ready for that situation or scenario. Other people are going to say this, they're going to say that, they're going to put you in certain situations, for example, but the truth of the matter is only you two are going to have to deal with it. If you lot have a youth, for example, you lot are going to really be looking after that youth. Everyone else that's talking might not. Do you get what I mean? So make sure you're ready And it takes a man to raise a home as well. Do you get what I mean? It takes a woman to maintain the house. Do you know what I mean? So just make sure.
Before if I forget even, in that, a lot of people might not even know that you're Muslim.
Yeah.
So did religion ever affect the things that you were doing in any sort of way? I know you said obviously being a believer of God helped in terms of when you were down and this that, and other, but was there anything else that...
religion, do you know what it is? Religion keeps you governed in it. Because don't get it twisted, even down to music, for example. Remember, it's haram. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's if you don't know yourself, that's the best. If you're not conscious while being in it, and I think this is anything. If you're not conscious of it while being in it, for example, you will lose yourself. I'm letting you know that firsthand. I've seen people lose themselves. I've been in situations where potentially if I didn't use my mind, for example, I could have lost myself. You know what I mean? So religion for me, in it, for example, I believe anything that you're in, for example, as long as you know how your God is, for example, and you'll be fine, man. Do you get what I mean? And just make sure that you yourself, for example, you're not doing things out of character because you know how you're like. Do you get what I mean? Everyone else is going to tell you, okay, I think you should... Like, there's bare times, for example, like, we'll be places, for example, and someone will be like, double, feel yourself, man, you're supposed to... I'm like, don't worry about my things, man. My thing's governed, I'm good. Do you get what I mean? And they don't get it. But I'm like, what you fail to understand is the bigger that you get, I don't know about everyone else, but the bigger you get, the more humble you have to be. Because it can get taken away as well.
True.
You know what I mean? It could get taken away at any time. So that's what I think with religion... It's benefited me in it. Do you get what I mean? But at the same time, for example, if a lot of people, I'm going to be real, a lot of people come into it and they're insecure. And then now, I think I'm this guy, and they start doing all of this whole... And these times, I've seen people come and go for so many years. I'm like, you don't even know in the next 2 months you might not be relevant, you know? Do you get what I mean? So I think that's
changing all the time.
Fam, you think you're the guy today, tomorrow you're not the guy, cut your car. Do you get what I mean? Whereas me, I say this to people all the time, I feel the same way all the time. I've never had a moment, for example, where like, it's burning, man. Do you get what I mean? Like, because I've always been me the whole time anyway. Do you get what I mean? Like, if people know me, for example, the music is just how I feel like inside sometimes. Do you get what I mean? But me as a person, cool. Do you get what I mean? Like, I can hold a conversation with you. There's not a lot of people, for example, outside of music or outside of what they do as a profession that you would be friends with like that. And that's when I know if your thing is genuine or not. Do you get me? If I can still be your brethren outside of it,
whatever we're doing.
Exactly. So that's why I think you need religion in it.
Last question would just be, who would you like to work with? Because you've done it all, you've seen it all. Like, is there any sort of goals that you feel like you want to do or haven't reached yet?
I wanna 100%. I wanna work with Drake. I think Drake's amazing, man. I think he's dope at what he does. Jay-Z, I need a Jay-Z verse before I sign up. I would love to do something with Kanye, but old school Kanye. I don't like this new school Kanye. You get
the crazy one.
Now, don't get twisted. The craziness is the reason that he becomes dope. But I need old school Kanye in the studio. Rihanna. I would love to do something with Rihanna. Over here, who would I like to work with over here? I think Digga D.
Okay.
I like his energy, man. He's just got. He's a character,
man. Confidence in the source.
Digga D's cold. Who else would I love to work with over here? Let me add a singer in there as well.
Bobby Schmurder, he's out.
Oh, that's my guy. But he's got my energy though, man. He's already just about a week ago. But you know, I want to hear his new stuff. I want to see if he's still good. But I still like him as a person, 100,000,000%. Now, I wouldn't mind doing something with him, but just something wavy. You know what I mean? And one more person over here.
Well, who do you really listen to from like over here then?
Okay. Jay Huss is my favourite guy. Dave. I would love like a verse. Dave, I would love a verse from Dave. And I would love to do a grime thing with Stormzy. I
think for me, another one would be you and Chip again, but as men. I would love to see you guys on a track again. I don't know if it would happen again, because I don't think, for those that haven't listened to it, I'll probably leave a link down below. Back then you guys, tons of tracks.
I'm going to be real. Me and Chip will always create magic. Only because I feel like we're original energy, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I don't... Fam, recently I've been going studio, for example, and dropping verses, that are like gear 6 every time. I don't miss at the moment. I'm you on the basketball court. But me and Chip, I know in my heart of hearts, he's always on job, lyrically. I wake up on job.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, it's my 9 to 5, fam. I fall asleep and spit. Do you get what I mean? Like, so I know that would be dope, but within its own time as well.
Yeah. No, for me, like all the names you mentioned. Yeah. Knowing how we are, it will happen.
No,
by fire, by force,
it's done.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You see, I'm gonna be real. I'm so sure, yeah. I just say it and it's done, and then I just go do what I need to do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but it's done. Like,
listen, you taught me the power of manifestation.
Yeah, bro.
Gotta carry it on.
A lot of people, do you know what it is? A lot of people are scared of themselves, isn't it? And I feel like as long as you don't forget God, don't forget where the original sources come from, for example, the rest of it, fam. We wouldn't be the people we are today, for example, if it weren't for that. Like, you wouldn't have gone. That sleeping at the airport thing, for example, that's part of the manifestation.
Yeah, 100%.
People just don't know, and people sometimes, some people, it's like we all just put our energies in different places, for example. But those little things, for example, is why the blessing is going to be that 10 times more sweeter. Everyone else is sleeping in their bed while you're doing it, and then in the morning when they see you doing the mad thing, for example, on the ground, they're like, oh my God, that was truth, innit?
Listen,
but what he had to do for it was
one day I'll let them know what it took to get. That's a story for another day.
Even me, I tell myself all the time, the day that I write my actual book, like Bashir's book, King Bashir, even me, I'll probably cry writing it.
Even getting onto that, you called yourself the young Kabaka. I don't think people know, you nicknaming yourself was something that got me to start nicknaming myself.
You have
I can't
to,
listen.
Because this is my whole, I'm going to even give people my little gem thing, how I feel like inside, I need to start showing people, because you see when people, like, because people will play with you, like, as if you don't know who you are. No, I know I'm that guy.
The biggie.
I know who I am already, but all it is at the same time, as people, we have to be humble with it. But fam, when it's time, like when you're on the pitch, don't play with no one, fam. Don't let no one think that. Because a lot of people got egos, and most of us don't even have egos. But if we had our ego, it's the biggest ego, fam. Do you get what I mean? But it's like, that's not how we want to come across as people, fam.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be a humble situation, for example. But you just, when you enter the room, or when man enters the room, just know.
I'm there.
Yeah, like, shower man thing, fam. You get me?
My bro, I appreciate this. Listen, man. You're the first. It had to be you.
The biggest. You got me with Schnack. You got me that Schnack.
The original Schnack.
Yeah, now that's you. That's your pattern. You and Shabil dangerous.
Yeah. No, man. I appreciate it. There's always love, my
thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you, man.
Definitely gonna get you on once.
Yeah, no, 100. When lockdown's done and when I drop a few more stuff, I'm back.
Yeah, man. People, chat with Schnack. It's a wrap.
Wee.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to One Take Media UK. Shout out to Tom behind the camera, my guy.
Tom.
You already know, we got the studio set up.
I need